Flip2Freedom, episode number 33. Hello again, this is Sean Terry from the Flip2Freedom podcast, and we are on episode number 33. And actually, today I'm coming to you from my car, so this is not a podcast, this is a car cast. So if you're listening for the very first time, I do want to apologize for the audio quality, but hey, just bear with me because I got some great content for you. If you are brand new and you're listening, I am put this podcast together for you to help you escape the 9-to-5 and live the lifestyle of your dreams by learning how you can make an absolute fortune flipping properties in your spare time. Even if you're brand new, you have no cash, you got no credit, and you have no experience. Well, in this particular episode, I am coming from a motivated seller's house. I've been running like crazy. It's December 28th or 29th, who knows? But just been going nuts and doing more deals than I can keep up with. It's been crazy. So it's been absolutely a blast, and it's been fun. So anyways, in this particular episode, I'm going to talk about the ultimate business model, the ultimate real estate investing business model. And in this ultimate real estate investing business model, I'm going to basically talk about how you can work from anywhere in the world that you would like to work. I'm going to talk about that you can make millions of dollars using this real estate investing business model. I'm also going to talk about that you can work whenever you want, which is great, with who you want, which is great. And it's also scalable to a large proportions, and also can be a sellable asset down the road if you'd like, if you want to build it and sell it. So I'm going to talk about that ultimate business model. Now, if you'd like to get my free 129-page real estate investing blueprint on exactly how you could quit your job in 19 weeks or less, you can visit flip2freedom.com, flip2freedom.com, and you'll see a video of me on the front page. Just enter your email, and I'll send you a link to where you can download that report for free. I've got unbelievable reviews. The comments have just been incredible for people that have said they've spent over $1,000 of money, that they've got more information in my book for free than they spent on other deals. So my whole goal of putting this podcast together and giving this great free information will be revealed in this podcast, because I get, pretty much answering this, the question is, why the heck are you giving away so much great free content? Why would you do all these podcasts, give away all your secrets, write your book, tell everything that and hold nothing back? And you won't see that much from other real estate gurus. And I don't see myself as a guru. I'm just a guy doing deals and looking to expand my business. But my main focus is real estate, and secondary is obviously teaching people. But once you listen to this podcast, you understand what the whole idea is about this ultimate business model. All right, so also I want to give a shout out and a thanks to Casey Cashman, who wrote a review in iTunes. And I want to thank you for submitting that, and thank you for your nice comments. If you do like this podcast, it would definitely help me out if you go to iTunes, inside the iTunes store, search Flip2Freedom, and rate the podcast if you like it. So, Casey, thank you very much for your kind words. I greatly appreciate your feedback. And all the other great comments and reviews on there, I greatly appreciate it. All right, so in this particular episode, the ultimate business model, let's get into it. Also, too, at the end of the episode, I'm going to tell you about a deal that I've got going on right now that I just came from, that's just actually left the escrow office, opened up escrow on the property, and we're shooting to close this by the end of the year, actually. And so I want to tell you the whole scenario about that. There's a couple great learning lessons that I want to tell you about in this particular deal that you can learn from. All right. So what is this ultimate business model? Where did it come from? How did I come up with it? And why am I sharing it with you? Well, first off, it was inspired. This ultimate business model was inspired by two books. One is called The Go Giver, and the other one is The 4-Hour Workweek. Now, in the 4-Hour Workweek, written by Timothy Ferriss, which is unbelievable, gentleman, he basically tells us how we can create a muse. A muse is a business that will serve our lifestyle. So pretty much you want to build a business that will serve our lifestyle instead of, and having it to where it will give us the freedom to do what we want, when we want, with who we want, whenever we want, and it will provide enough income to where we can do all the things that we want to do in our lifestyle, but work as little as possible. Or do what we love to do with our passion, which doesn't seem like work anyway. So that's the basic concept of the 4-hour work week, about outsourcing your life, about just building a lifestyle, building a business to serve your lifestyle. Now, in the book The Go-Giver, which is another great book written by Bob Berg, and what he talks about in his particular book about the 5 stratospheric laws of success. It's a phenomenal book about a gentleman by the name of Joe who is struggling. He's going through tough times. He's working his butt off, but he's not getting results. He's trying to figure out why he's not getting the results that he wants to. Even though he feels like he's putting 110% in. He's pushing. He's working. He's putting in the hours. He's putting in the effort, but he's not getting the results that he wants to get. And it's this whole story about Joe who meets this mentor, and in this mentor teaches him 5 stratospheric laws of success. Now I'm going to share with you these 5 stratospheric laws of success. And the first one in the 5 stratospheric laws is the law of value. And basically the law of value says your true worth is determined by how much more you give in value than you take in payment. That means giving extraordinary value than you take in payment. 10 times more than you take in payment. That's the law of value. The next one is the law of compensation, which is your income is determined by how many people you serve and how well you serve them. That's interesting, huh? So you want to make more money? Serve more people. The next one is the law of influence. Well, the law of influence says your influence is determined by how abundantly you place other people's interest first. See, that's a difficult one, because think about it. Everyone's looking out for, number one, looking out for themselves. But the law of influence is how you can place other people's interests first. Well, that's a difficult one, but I'm going to show you exactly how you can implement it in this ultimate business model. Now, the next one is the law of authenticity. The most valuable gift you can give, that you can have to offer, is yourself. The most valuable gift you can have. I'm driving while I'm doing this, so bear with me. I don't want to hit the guy in front of me. So the most valuable gift you can have is to offer is yourself. So that is the law of authenticity. And the law of receptivity is the key to an effective giving is to stay open to receiving. Obviously, you got to allow yourself to receive. All right. So those are the 5 stratospheric laws of success. Now, how the heck can you apply that to your real estate investing business? Is there a way to apply that to your real estate investing business? Well, in my ultimate business model, yes, you can. Now, what is this ultimate business model for? Well, it's typically for someone that's a little bit more advanced. Someone that's done deals before, has a good grasp. This is not for someone that's brand new, but it's someone that can aspire to this certain level, which is great. Because think about it, there might be people on the podcast right now that are listening that have done tons of deals. And they have a good grasp in real estate. They would consider themselves experts, or they've done enough transactions to be able to feel confident that they could teach and train other people. Okay, So, and there's some people on the phone, they're just not confident yet to the point to where they would feel comfortable teaching and training other people. Well, the bottom line is this would be more for someone that has that confidence that they believe that they could have enough education to teach other people about the business. Okay. Now, I'm going to give you the example of a traditional means of expanding a business once you get to a certain level. Now, let's say you've worked your job, you're working a job right now, and you want to start marketing for motivated sellers. You start doing direct mail campaigns using the yellow letter. You get calls coming in. You do 1 or 2 deals a month, and let's say you average $5,000 a deal. So you're making an extra $10,000 that you can stash in the bank. The whole premise behind this whole podcast is to quit your job in 19 weeks or less. And you can do that by getting 1 year's worth of income in the bank. Let's say you make $50,000 a year. The goal is to get $50,000 of cash in the bank as fast as humanly possible. And then it'll give you the option to be able to quit your job or not. Now, to do that, obviously you're going to be flipping properties. You're going to be talking to motivated sellers. You're going to be taking calls. You're going to be marketing. You're going to be meeting with sellers. You're going to be doing contracts. You're going to be then opening escrow. Then you're going to be meeting with you're marketing the property to your buyers. You're going to be meeting with buyers. You're going to be opening escrow there. You're going to be managing the property, managing the transactions to go to closing. So that's the typical process when you're going through and wholesaling properties, and you can do that around your job, which is great. Or when you start going full-time in the business, you're going to increase your marketing, which is going to increase your deals. The more marketing you do, the more deals you'll get. And the less marketing you do, the less deals you'll get. So if it's all on you, and let's say it's your company and you're doing all the marketing, well, you can increase your marketing by sending more direct mail, by doing more internet marketing, or by putting up billboard signs. You could put, radio advertising. You could put more bandit signs out. Whatever the case, there are ways you can increase your marketing to levels where you can get hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of leads coming in, depending on the market you're in. So, but think about it. But let's say you do that. Let's say we'll talk about the traditional means of increasing your business or scaling your business. You're going to increase your marketing, which is going to get your phone ringing off the hook. If you're one guy, guess what? You can't take all those calls. So guess what? You're going to have to hire a receptionist to take the calls. And then you're going to have to hire salespeople to go take all the leads, run down the leads, meet with the sellers, get the contracts. Maybe you're going to pay them $1,000 to $2,000 per transaction, or a percentage of the profits, whichever you decide to do, and however you want to pay them. Either or works fine. But then they're going to run contracts, and they're going to go out and they're going to get deals and negotiate contracts. Then bring back the contracts. So you got to process them, and you have an office. You got to have staff meetings of your salespeople that are going out getting contracts. You're dealing with those guys, dealing with employees now. So it becomes a little cumbersome, and you're stuck now to an office you're going to every day. Unless you can hire someone that's really good that can manage that for you. So that's the traditional means of scaling a business to generate more revenue as a wholesaler. Now, there might be some people that are listening to this right now that have this operation already set up. There's some people that don't. They're still working their job and they're looking to do one deal. Well, in any case, is that when you try to scale a business, you want to scale it to where you don't have to be involved as much as possible to a certain level. Now, let's talk about what is a different alternative instead of the traditional scaling, the traditional business model of scaling that way. And what I call it is the ultimate real estate investing business model. And it's this. Here's the concept. When it comes to doing deals, right, we talked about where you have to market for motivated sellers, you have to take the calls, you have to meet the sellers, make an appointment, meet the sellers, get the contract, and go through the whole process, right? Well, what if you could become a coach? What if you could become a person who goes out there and implements these 5 laws of stratospheric success, and you give more value by teaching other people the business? So you're impacting their lives in a positive way because you're teaching them a skill, and having they're able to call you and lean on you and use your information and knowledge. But what you're going to be able to do is, as a coach, instead of charging exorbitant fees like all these other gurus, I've seen coaching programs for $25,000, $20,000, $30,000, $10,000, $5,000, ridiculous amounts of money, $9,000. But what if you charged an affordable coaching program, but then you share in deals with the students, so you have an invested interest? Now, why would you charge it all? Some people go, well, why would you charge? I just want to split the deals with you. Because you can't work with everybody. There's only a select few people that you can work, a handful of people you can work with to do deals, maybe 20, 30, 40, who knows. But the bottom line is you want to select the people that are interested and motivated and committed to doing stuff. I've worked with people for free, and I can tell you they're not committed to it. They're going to try it out and see if it works. Well, that's not the attitude you want. You want someone that's going to invest in themselves and sees value of investing in themselves to expand their business. And that's what, and it doesn't have to be like $20,000. It doesn't have to be that. You know, it could be $500. Who knows? It could be $800, $1,000, whatever it is. But make it affordable enough to where you're weeding out the pack and only working with the people that are willing to invest in themselves. So now you can invest your time in them, and you'll know they'll have much more ability to succeed because they're making that commitment. All right, so that's the concept. So what if you become a coach? Now what if now you created a medium to where people could learn, and it could be through a blog, it could be through video, it could be through podcasting, it could be through whatever means that you like. But the bottom line is, you create that, and then you start working with people all across the country. Now, think about it. Instead of, now you have someone in a different city. Now, what if you wanted to, in a traditional means, you wanted to work in a different city? What do? Well, you would have to, first off, find a property there. You'd have to know the market, figure out, get realtor comps. You'd have to get an escrow officer there. You'd find an escrow officer that could close the transaction. You have to have someone take pictures unless the seller can take it for you. Then you're going to have to build a buyer's list in that particular market and go out and then obviously sell the property and do everything over phone, fax, and FedEx. Now, is it possible? Yeah, it's possible. Is it difficult? Yeah, it's difficult. But what if you had someone on the ground, someone that was one of your coaching students, that's on the ground, that is building a buyer's list, that has lined up an escrow officer, lined up a realtor, knows the market quite well, knows the areas that work well, can pull high cash transaction areas, and then start marketing for properties, taking phone calls, meeting sellers, getting contracts, and then you work with them and coach them with it, but also participate in transactions, splits of transactions with them. Now, it's not going to be every transaction, but it could be a couple, 2 or 3 or 4 transactions until they're ready to do the deals on their own. So think about it. What if you have 50 people all across the country that do 2 deals, and now you're working on coaching them? You can work anywhere in the world. All you need is a phone, and you need internet access, and you can work anywhere in the world coaching people all over the entire country. It's an unbelievable concept, and it's not new. It's not like I invented the concept. It's not like I had epiphany. I was like, holy cow, when I read these 2 books, how could I create ultimate value? Well, think about it. You're creating a ton of value by helping people and teaching them and working with them, building confidence in them, that they can go out and do this, and they can quit their job, or they can go out and have success in the business, and having someone to lean on if you're genuine about it. And also, too, what if when they go out and they get a check. I mean, you get to share in that excitement with them. They go out and make their first check and be able to do that. But also, too, it's increasing your real estate business as well, which is great. All right, now think about it. Now, let's say you charge for coaching and you have 50 people you're working with, and let's say they all say $500, that's, what is that, $25,000 of just coaching fees, not including any revenue from the real estate. Now, I looked at that as just a secondary, that's just, bonus money, whatever, but the bottom line is that you can work with people that are committed, but you get extra money that way. And that's what I did with the Flip2Freedom Academy, and the whole entire concept of the Flip2Freedom Academy is to give as much huge value of information. And I think if you talk to anybody in the Flip2Freedom Academy that has watched the series of videos that I put together, and the modules that I put together, I try to give away tons of, I want to give you everything you need. Websites, squeeze pages, keywords, campaigns, everything you need to market for motivated sellers, how to do it, what to do, everything. Very, very simple, easily duplicatable, and all the templates you need to get up and going as fast as possible. Because what's my motivation? My motivation is to do deals. So I want to give you everything you need, all the support you need to be able to rock it out and make some money. And that was the entire concept of the Flip2Freedom Academy. And people say, why do you give away so much free information? Because you're my partner. If you're my partner, then guess what? I want to give you all the information possible to be able to help you succeed so we can do deals together. And it's not, like I said, it's not going to be every deal, but it's going to participate in some deals. And guess what? When someone goes off on their own, it opens up another slot for another person. Now, I'm going to tell you my expanded concept of the Flip2Freedom Academy and how you can implement the same thing too for yourself. Well, there's going to be a certain amount of people I can work with. But what I'm looking for is a handful of people that can go out and do at least 10 deals. They can get 10 deals under their belt. That means they know they can do it. They can do a transaction. They know the process of it. They can, document, okay, I've done 10 deals. And then we can turn those people, if they want, into coaches and participate and use the platform that I've developed, the podcast I've developed, the platform I've developed, the Flip2Freedom, and launch off that. And basically now I can promote those core group of people as now coaches and mentors of the Flip2Freedom Academy. So that now they can participate in transactions all across the country. They don't have to develop it themselves if they don't want, but I can promote them as a leader and help them on their coaching side of it. So if they don't have a question they can answer, then guess what? I pretty much seen every scenario known to man when it comes to real estate. So if they can't answer it, guess what? I'm there. I can answer it for them. And I can be able to get that answer to the right person and direct them. Then guess what? There could be coaching fees that could come in, and also there could be transactions, and we can turn around. They can participate in the transactions, but the bottom line is that they can have. And I haven't got the whole thing completely ironed out exactly the way I want to do and how it will work. But that is the concept about it. Because think about how many people we can impact. If we've got 5 or 10 people out there that can all take on 30, 40, 50 people at a time, and they're working now and they're coaching and they're giving great free value, and they can help doing podcasts and doing stuff like that. Think about it. We can create a huge community of successful people all across the entire country, and that's what I'm looking to build with the Flip2Freedom Academy. Now, Flip2Freedom Academy opened in October 28th. We've had great success. We closed down super quick because it sold out so fast. But we are reopening in January 18th. So mark your calendar. If you want to, go to Flip2FreedomAcademy.com. You can check that out and get on the early bird list because, like I said, it's probably going to only be open for a couple hours or maybe a couple days. And then we'll shut back down because, like I said, there's only a certain amount of people we can work with right now. Actually, I can work with right now that to be able to work with. But I like I said, I'm looking for that core group of people I can work with to help them become super successful, do 10 deals or so, and and then turn around and launch the Flip2Freedom Academy, where we can take on more people and do it an affordable coaching program to be able to do that. So that's the concept of the Flip2Freedom Academy. Now, how can you implement it? I'm going to tell you exactly. Let's say you don't want to be part of the Flip2Freedom Academy. Let's say you want to do this on your own. Go to WordPress.org, download the free blog platform, and then go to Woo Themes, W-O-O Themes, T-H-E-M-E-S, Woo Themes. And that's a theme. It's a premium theme you can buy for like $60, $70. And set yourself up a blog. It's very simple to do. Set yourself up a blog, and then start either delivering content via written, either writing content, writing good articles, or doing a podcast. If you like to do a podcast, you like to talk. Or if you like to do video, if you want to do videos, you can do it. Those are 3 great ways to be able to deliver great content. Then what you do is now go into the forums, go into REI Club forums, go into Bigger Pocket forums, and start going in there and participating in answering questions, and also Facebook, and answering questions to people. And have a signature, have your signature in those forums linked back to your blog, and then have an opt-in on your blog to where people can opt in to your email list, and then you can start, promoting your type of coaching program that you want to release or launch. And you could start locally. You could start first off. You could put an ad on Craigslist. And you can start locally if you want, like I did, and start working with people locally, then start branching out. Now, the podcast, my first goal of the podcast is just to build a local group of people. Well, the podcast blew up. It was featured in iTunes as new and noteworthy, and I've got thousands of people all across the world listening to the podcast now. It's just been unbelievable, and it's just been an amazing ride, way bigger than I ever expected to have it turn out. But it's been a blast doing it and answering questions via email and Facebook and voicemail and stuff like that. But and also in the academy, which has been great. But basically, that medium, you can decide what you want to do. But what happens is when you're answering people in the forum, you start to develop an expert status by delivering great free value and free content. They're going to link back to your page. They're going to go back to your page, and then they're going to get on your opt-in list and give away, like I give away a free book, a 129-page detailed blueprint on exactly how to quit your job in 19 weeks or less. That I personally wrote every word of it. I didn't have it outsourced. I didn't have it ghostwritten. I just wrote it myself. That was brutal because I hate to write, but I'd rather talk. But I did it because I knew it would be great content to give away for free to entice someone or motivate someone to opt in to the place, so then potentially I can keep in track and build a relationship with people. Now, some people will never become part of the Flip2Freedom Academy, which is great. They might take this information, they can use this, and get great success. But that's one of the laws of stratospheric success. There's a law of compensation is how many people you can impact. So it might not have a direct impact on me, but it's turning around and maybe it'll help other people. I don't know. You never know. But it's the law of karma as well, giving away great, good information, and it'll come back to you. So anyways, so that's how you can do it. You can set up a blog, and you can start participating in forums, and you can deliver content via podcasts, via YouTube videos, or via just written articles if you'd like, depending whatever you feel comfortable with. All right, so that is that. Flip2Freedom Academy will be opening on January 18th. Like I said, go to Flip2FreedomAcademy.com. You can check that out and get on the early bird list if you are at all interested about becoming a participant in the Flip2Freedom Academy. Like I said, it's unbelievably affordable coaching where, I mean, literally, I've talked to people 10 times a day, walking them through deals and different transactions and closing deals and stuff like that. So it's a blast. I love doing it. I love helping people. I love talking. I'm talking on the phone, love helping people through the process and sharing their success. Just posted a video of the recent gentleman by the name of Mark Van Dyke from Van Dyke Brothers, and he just got his first check over $7,000, and super excited for him. You can see his video. He's just like, yeah, it's excited, and I probably talked to him about 20 times in the day he was closing, about 20 times getting this deal done. It's been great. I'm super excited for him and what he did. So we were having fun. We had like a mastermind meeting here of a group of people pulled together. And I get this other guy, Dorsey Matthews. I mean, he's brand new, getting started, and he's went out, got a deal under contract, got the property sold. We're in the process of getting it closed right now. He's going to make over $5,000 or around that number, and he's super excited. He's like his first wholesale deal. I met him off Bigger Pockets just by answering questions in Bigger Pockets. The same thing. So you can do the same thing too to help build your ultimate real estate investing business. And you work anywhere in the world. All you need is a phone and talk to people and work with deals across the country. And then think about it. And also too, in the Flip2Freedom Academy, I have a very nominal fee membership site where people can go in. Maybe they don't want coaching, but they want all the great material and all the videos. I have all these different modules with anywhere from 5 to 7 to 10 videos in there, teaching specifically exactly what to do, and I give them keywords, and I give them how to set up campaigns and websites, the whole templates and stuff. But it's a membership site where people can join that and be part of the community and stuff if they want. But that becomes a sellable asset down the road if you want to sell it down the road, which I don't have any intention of selling it down the road, of course, because I love this business and love doing it. And I'm young, and it's time to rock and roll. So, all right, now let me tell you about a deal I've got. I'm working on right now. I just came back from opening escrow on it on the buy side, and also we got the sell side. We're pushing to close it this week. All right, here's the deal. First off, the lead came in from one of the guys I'm working with. His name's Michael, and he's local here in Phoenix, and sent out yellow letters to absentee owners, found this person that called, motivated seller. The problem was the property was over indebted. But the property, what had intrigued my interest, is it had over $1,000 a month in cash flow. And the note rate was great. The note was 3.75%, so literally like free money. They had a 30-year fix, principal and interest, tax, insurance, everything included in the payment of $1,100, and they're collecting rents about $22.75 a month. So that was great. So the $1,000 a month is what intrigued me to that deal. Otherwise, if it was upside down negative cash flow, I'd have said forget it, pass on the deal. So what happened is I actually sent her an offer and basically said, because it's over in debt, we'll give you $500, and then we'll basically do a contract for the property, and then we'll buy it. And that for $500, I would have probably just kept it in my portfolio and just collected the cash flow on it. So. But anyway, he called. I had him follow up on the contract. We haven't heard from him a couple days. He followed up and he talked to the seller, and the seller rejected the offer. So there's no way I'm giving this thing away. I'm not. No, I'm just reject the offer. So he called me up and said, "Hey, I just got off the phone with the seller. She's rejecting the offer, and there's no way she's going to sell for that. It's a dead deal. It's done." I just chalked this one up as a learner and just, put it aside. I said, hold on a second, because no deal is dead. Because what's the number? I said, Michael, what's the number? What do you mean, what's the number? I said, everybody has a number. If $500 isn't the number, what is the number? He's like, I don't know. I said, give me the number. So I called the seller up. I said, hey, listen, I understand $500 is not your number. You don't want to sell it for that, but what is? She goes, well, if I could get $5,000 out of the deal, then I'd be more interested in doing something. I said, okay. Well, why don't we meet at the property? Let me look at it, see if there's potential there. So I figured $5,000. I figured I could sell for $10,000. Think about it, 10 months, $1,000 cash flow a month. 10 months, you get your investment back. I knew I had to get them on a long-term, like an agreement for sale or sell or carry or whatever, or subject to. So that was my motive in meeting them. So I actually met them, went to the property, met them, walked the property, found out all the details, $5,000 with the number. But I said, listen, what about we do this? $5,000 does not work for me. The number is $500 works for me, but for this particular property, $5,000 doesn't work. But I might have some investor friends that might be interested in the property. Why don't we do an option contract? And we will split whatever down payment above and beyond $10,000 that we're able to get if we go out and talk to our buyers and that we work with, or friends of ours, investors that we work with, and try to market and sell the property. So what happened was, she goes, okay. So we signed an option to contract right there and turned around, and we were good. So we went out on a massive marketing spree. We put it out to our buyers list, put it on Craigslist, put bandit signs up, went nuts trying to sell a property, found a buyer real quick for the property, and wants to put $15,000 down and then buy property on an agreement for sale. And good, we're all good. And so we went back to the seller. I said, okay, Michael, tell her we need to do an inspection on the property. The buyer wants to do a walkthrough, because it's a rental property, of course, and it's currently occupied. So he said, okay. So called up the seller, and he calls me back and, oh my God, the deal is dead. The seller wants more money down. She wants $20,000 down. There's no way she wants to do it for $15,000 down and split the money. She's only going to get $7,500. Her realtor is telling her she needs to get more money. Her realtor is telling you got to do a 48-hour notice. Blah, 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 blah. All this stuff, right? I said, Michael, calm down. Give me the number. So he gave me the number. I called her up, and I had some words with her. So listen, she wanted to renege on the contract, and that's not cool with me. So I said, listen. I said, we had an agreement. We shook hands on it. We did an agreement. We agreed to split any proceeds, split the down payment above and beyond $10,000. We went out, we marketed, we put bandit signs out, we spent money, we put it out to our buyers. We've been talking to people and spending time on this thing, and now we have a buyer based upon the terms that you said for $15,000 down, which is better than the $10,000 down. You're going to get $7,500 at closing, and it's agreement for sale, so the title will not transfer to the underlying note is paid off. And now you're telling me, do you want to change terms? Do you want more money? Well, listen, I do not do business with people that don't have integrity. And if you're not going to have integrity and keep to your word, then I'll rip up the contracts and I'll take my buyer and I'll sell him another property that I have. So what do you want to do? And I just was quiet. And she came back and said, oh, I'm sorry. It was my husband. He's the one that wanted to blamed it on her husband. And said, let me call you back in 20 minutes. So I said, fine. So she called me back in 20 minutes and said, hey, I got everything figured out. I talked to him, but if you could sit down and talk to him, that'd be great. I said, fine. What's your address? I'll be at your house in a half hour. I found out she lived way the heck out in the middle of nowhere, so I took her address down, got up the purchase contract, got everything together, and I drove out and sat down and met with them and went through the entire contract, everything, on made sure that 100% clear. They re-signed off on everything. Because remember, I had an option, so I had to convert it into a purchase contract. Signed off and everything. They owed $142, 3.75% a month. The payments were $1,100. Rents were about $2,275. And I did an agreement for sale, meaning that the title won't transfer until the underlying note's paid off. But we don't need any further signatures from him to get the deal done. I negotiated 10 years. On the note, and then we turned around and sold it to a buyer for $15,000 down, of which $7,500 goes to us, $7,500 goes to her, and the buyer gets the property. So I took that contract, ran it over to the title company, opened up escrow on it, and now we're proceeding to closing. We're trying to close it by the end of the year, which is in a couple days. So we're pushing to get that done, but if not, we'll slip into next year. But that's fine as well. So anyway, so that is the deal of that particular property. Now, what can we learn from it? Well, two things. Number one is, guess what? Find the number. If someone rejects your first offer, go back and say, listen, if $500 doesn't work, what will work? She might have said 1,000, but she said 5,000. Guess what? I could work with that. So that's the lesson. That's the lesson there. If someone rejects your offer, always go back and ask them what the number is. Now, if the number is ridiculous, I want $50,000 down on a property that's over indebted. Well, listen, you know what? Just can't do it. Good luck. Now, the other thing is what's the other thing we learned? The other thing we learned is that if a seller wants to renege on terms of either option agreement or a purchase contract, you got to nail them to the wall. I have no mercy, man. I nail them to the wall. Listen, you got integrity. You shook my hand. We agreed on this, and now you want to renege? That doesn't work with me. Nope. So either I'm going to rip it up, and I'll take my buyer and I'll bring him somewhere else, or we need to step up and we need to make this agreement happen. And guess what? She stepped up, made the agreement happen. And most sellers, if you put them on the spot like that, will, because it's fear of loss. They don't want. They're looking, maybe this guy's serious. Maybe I better listen and push forward. So that's exactly what happened on that particular day, and that's what we can learn from it. So that's it for this episode. Usually I have a quote at the end of the week, but like I said, it's a car cast today, so I'm actually driving and heading back to the house. So thanks again for your time and listening to the podcast. Like I said, the Flip2Freedom Academy is opening January 18th. Get on the early bird list if you at all interested. Download my free book at flip2freedom.com if you'd like. And in the future episodes, we will talk more on specific deals. We'll talk about how to quit your job in 19 weeks or less, how to get money in your bank as fast as possible. If you want to listen to the series on how to go out and get your first check, listen to episodes 22 through 26. I go in detail on exactly how to go out and get your first check. And like I said, I don't hold anything back because I'm looking for you to be my partner in the future. So that's the name of the game, and that's my intent and motive, and that's why I give all the way this free information. So until next time, I wish you ultimate success in your real estate investing career. Take care, and God bless.